Alright guys, so the war changes are now live and there's so much to talk about, especially where the hell are the T4s for the victory and losses per war. They're gone, right? We knew that was going to happen, but they didn't increase the season rank, so I don't want to talk too much about that yet because I think they're going to fix it, but instead I want to focus my energy on a secret buff to the A-Force team that completely changes the dynamic of the team and makes them an actual premier war offense team, which is what they're supposed to be, so I hope they keep this. So it stems from Nico, and this is her passive. As you can see, negative effect applied, she's going to give Jessica Jones speed, she gains drain and focus, she gives focus to A-Force, and she gives max health to herself and A-Force allies. And then on war offense, she gives a bunch of buffs to her, I think it's highest damage and lowest health ally, and when a negative effect is applied to an A-Force character, she has a 75% chance to give energy to Jessica Jones. Ugh, it's late. So, that's all cool, that's all great, but that pales in comparison to one single buff, and that is an on-spawn speed up to self and all A-Force allies. But it's more than just that. It's all allies. They do not have to have the A-Force tag. This makes the team function in a way that is beneficial to the war meta, and I think they should keep it, but I don't know what's going to happen. But I wanted to tell you guys about it so you can see what they're capable of when they do have it, and maybe if we make enough noise, if they do decide to take it down, they'll put it back up. Who knows? But while we go on this journey, let's talk about T4s and ISO 8. So for Captain Marvel, we like that ultimate and we like that passive. The ultimate is just damage, but it's useful in getting the nuke on a character, especially against the Young Avengers team. And I like her as a striker. I like how that striker effect can chew through death curse. I think that's very valuable. So yeah, I like her as a striker. Jessica Jones, I like the special, the ultimate, and the passive. I also like her as a skirmisher. Now that's just because I like to place my vulnerable. However, if the bug is still in the game, and I couldn't identify if it is, where she's over capping her focus so her ultimate isn't clearing anything, then you should take her off skirmisher and put her as a raider. But in my testing, I believe, while using the ultimate against the Asgardian team, it was working appropriately. So hopefully that is the case, because I'd rather know where I'm putting the vulnerable for Captain Marvel that they didn't do. Then we have Nico. Nico just needs the ultimate and the passive. The extra regen, I think, on her special is kind of whatever. Extra damage on her basic, again, whatever. But the ultimate and the passive are super necessary. And I also like her as a skirmisher, so I can place those vulnerables, but absolutely an argument can be made for Raider to get more vulnerables out. Nas, Spider-Woman, I like all of her T4s. They're all crazy good, and I like her as a striker, so that she's going to put defense down whenever she's attacking into a vulnerable character. But that's just 4 members, there has to be a 5th. So let's talk about some of the plug-and-play characters we're going to see here today. The most important one, the one I like the best, is Namor. He just needs his ultimate and his passive. I believe his ultimate is extra buff clear and turn meter rewind, and the passive might make him spawn with offense up and give him extra damage. And with his new stats, that should be quite a bit. Now, I like him as a raider. Mine was a fortifier up until today, but now that he has increased stats, or should, waiting to be seen if he actually got his stat buffs, he's going to hit like a truck. So, I like him as a raider. And then Dormammu. Dorky, what are you talking about? Like, we took away Doom, that's cool, and now you're going to add an even more important, influential character to try and make teams work? Hold your horses, wait and see what this team can now take out with Dormammu. But if you are going to use Dormammu with this team, don't be silly, put all the T4s on him and make him a striker. With that out of the way, let's do some attacks. So we're going to do A-Force Namor versus Heroes for Hire and the Heroes for Hire Red Guardian team, which is very common in the upper echelon of the war rankings right now, because it takes away from your Dark Hunter's ability to do the match. But we don't care about that. So Jessica Jones, okay, so she did clear everything there. She is a 7 red star skirmisher, so I think that they fixed that bug. But then we go all around the house, and you see they haven't even taken a turn yet. We're going to target the Colleen because she has Death Roof. I didn't want to kill anybody. They still had their Heroes for Hire charge mechanic going. And then we get the turn meter rewind. So we took all of our turns before Shang-Chi even got a turn. Colleen is dead before she gets to take a turn. And now Shang-Chi is dead before he gets to take a turn. So this is absolutely insane turn meter that we get simply from the speed up on spawn. So you can see how this ends. You can obviously tell how our Iron Fist would have changed absolutely nothing here. So I'm not going to bother doing another Heroes for Hire matchup. This would free up Dark Hunters to maybe take out Web Warriors, which we don't really need because we have Bionic Avengers. New Warriors, which if you have Shadowlands built, you're probably using them there. So it frees up Dark Hunters to maybe start taking out Young Avengers. We'll see how that goes. But for that matchup, about 200k punch-up is what I would recommend. Next, we're going to do A-Force Namor versus the Hero Asgardians. I think I played this one about as poorly as you can, and I still got through it. So what we want to do is take off the deflect and hopefully the immunity from Sif. So we go ahead and do that. And we got the immunity off. That's the most important thing. We get a couple of the traumas out there. So we do have 3 traumas. What we want to do at this point is actually take out somebody who doesn't have trauma and disrupt. So you see I'm going to go for the Jane Foster. And I actually used the Spider-Woman basic to get the defense down on her because Nico did strip her of that defense up, so it couldn't be flipped. Sorry, Jessica Jones stripped her of the defense up, so it couldn't be flipped. So Mighty Thor is now dead, and now we're left with these 3. You could go for Heimdall, I suppose, because we do have still 2 turns on these debuffs that Nico threw out, but kill Thor, because Thor's passive and his ultimate are crazy strong, right? And Heimdall's not going to do much at this point. So the crazy thing about this new A-Force team is how tanky they are, and even after their opening attacks, with Jessica Jones now not having to use her special on spawn for a Doom, she's going to help them get all their turns back up quickly. So Doom worked because he needed that ultimate to pop off, and then you could just kind of snowball. But now that we don't need Doom, we can use someone like Namor. You can hold off on using some of Jessica Jones' abilities and make use of them later, which I really, really like. And Nico's going to get to ultimate again here, which is crazy. So a lot more control about how you're getting your extra energy. And for this one, guys, I think a punching range in the live servers, about 100k, would be like as far as I would go for now. Further testing, we'll see, because that did look pretty easy. Then we have A-Force Namor versus Young Avengers. This one works on a punch across all the time. This, what you're about to see, is a 300k punch up. I would never recommend this, but I could get it to work about 50% of the time, maybe even a little bit less. But I want to show it working on a 300k team in practice, so you understand it'll work on a more reasonable punch up in the live servers. So you got to make sure you target Kate with a Nico ultimate. The way Nico's ultimate works, it picks the highest damage, the highest health, and your primary target. So Kate's going to be neither of those 2 except for the primary target. So we're going to make sure we do that. And after Kate's dead, we're basically just going to go for the targets that have the Nico debuff. So in this case, it's America Chavez and Squirrel Girl. And of course, you don't want to push too many people because that just feeds Squirrel Girl speed meter. But luckily, if Squirrel Girl does happen to get that ultimate off, you are pretty much immune to offense down because of Spider-Woman's kit. I think that's fantastic. We get another defense down on Squirrel Girl. We'll use Captain Marvel to finish off her at that point. And now I can throw it on auto and be fine. So this was a 300k punch up. This looks really pretty. It could go really bad depending on how, if you can't kill Kate right away with the Captain Marvel ultimate. If you're not able to get through the Squirrel Girl before she uses her heal. If you deviate and start attacking a target, that Squirrel Girl then does heal up. It gets really bad. So this is a 300k punch up, but my recommendation, just like the one before, is no more than 100k. And I guess we'll just watch me finish this one out. Do. Big teams take a long time to clean out sometimes. It's kind of funny. There you go. Recommended punching range, 100k, guys. Don't do too much here. You just shoot yourself in the foot. And now the one you've been waiting for, A-Force Dormammu versus Darkhold. Yeah, so this is about a 325k punch up on practice, which means, again, probably about 100k, maybe 200k in the live warp, just because of the way mechanics work. So, before, without the speed up, Morgan would go, I think, right after Jessica Jones. But because we have the speed up, we get to do Nico's attack, get that trauma, that disrupt, that vulnerable out there. And we get to use Spider-Woman as well, so we get to go again to attack the Morgan. and Captain Marvel gets to go first. So now the question is just, when is Dormammu going to go? That's the only thing I care about right now. Does he go before Wong, before Morgan? How's that going to work? He goes before both. So you could stun the Wong and avoid the Wong ultimate, or you could just go for the Morgan. She was low on turn meter, and get the stun so there's no more shenanigans that way. I go for the Morgan here. Wong did use his ultimate, or he will use it, but he's not going to gain taunt because he has the disrupt with trauma. He is, however, going to give those nasty buffs away. So you see, I'm going for the Morgan here, and the most important thing at this point is, when is Dormammu going to go compared to the Morgan? He goes before her, annihilates her, and now this match is done. So as long as you can kill the Morgan, that was a 7 red star Morgan, you're going to win this fight. So this worked out great. Nobody died. The way it worked, Jessica Jones is able to cleanse right after Agatha does her stun. So I don't even think you sit through the stun on your Nico. So it's pretty easy, actually. I would do this on a live server at about 150 to maybe 200k punch up, which I will have to do when we fight our big alliance enemies. And Captain Marvel's going to get the ult again, which is crazy. So we'll go for a secured kill on Strange, because why not? And there you go. So this one's a wrap. So just to reiterate, try and stay within 100k. If you have to do more, you can do more. And I think this matchup has value if you're a small alliance doing punch-ups, and maybe you're not required to keep your Dormammu on defense. You're going to be able to use him on offense, and then you don't have to use him with your Infinity Watch, or your Weapon X, or your Unlimited. Those teams still function against other enemies, and you can use them there, which is great. But that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.